they always said I'm wrong, but what they doing today? I think they want me gone, but I ain't going away. They told me I was wrong, but look at my ass today. Da 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 da.
What up, guys? Denton Day here from the Real Sports Talk. I'm here to talk about Raw. This is Raw 1001, hot off the heels of Raw 1000. So the show started off with pretty much a review of Raw 1000, showing the events that happened, pretty much recapping the whole show, and of course highlighting the fact that CM Punk attacked The Rock, and CM Punk came out to open the show, and he pretty much talked a little bit about how, or pretty much why he attacked The Rock, and that was pretty much because he felt disrespected, or not disrespected, but lack of respect, so not enough. I guess that's sort of the same thing. He insulted Jerry Lawler. He actually went and sat on the announce table, and this brought the Big Show out, and the Big Show was pretty much like, blah, 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 I'm the reason you are still champion. And then John Cena came out, and he didn't even really talk. He just came out with blazing. He just came, attacked the Big Show, got him out of the ring, and then the new general manager, AJ Lee, came out and said that the main event would be John Cena versus the Big Show for the #1 contendership of the WWE title, and the winner will face CM Punk at SummerSlam. So we had the main event set. Now, this was the first, not the first Raw, but this was the first one after Raw 1000. That's 3 hours, starting on a regular basis. So in a 3-hour show, they have a lot of time to fill. They're normally used to 2 hours, but with 3 hours, they can throw in a couple extra matches. So they had a couple matches that were honestly just pointless. They had a match between Tenzai and Tyson Kidd, which is pretty dumb. They don't need that in there unless they have Tyson Kidd win, because the match itself isn't really all that good. Tenzai and Tyson Kidd aren't really compatible in the ring, because Tenzai is like 400 pounds, and Tyson Kidd is the athletic guy who jumps off the rope. Now, they could make things work between them, but starting out, they really shouldn't. They also had like a Alberto Del Rio Santino Marella match. This is like probably like the 5th time we've seen this match, and it's the same old thing. Alberto Del Rio is looking like he's gonna lose. He hits that little knee to the arm, throws him into the turnbuckle, and then puts a cross arm breaker on. We've seen it like a million times. I don't know why they need to show it again. And then we had a segment between Brodus Clay and Damian Sandow, or Sandow, however the hell you say his name. And he came out and pretty much attacked Brodus Clay, and that was it. Like, it's literally just time killing after time killing, because they don't really know what to do with 3 hours, because 3 hours is an awfully long time. But they do know how to do a couple things right, and they had a fan vote, a Raw Active, on Twitter for the WWE Universe to decide what match Sheamus should face Daniel Bryan in. They had between a no holds barred, a Falls Count Anywhere, and a street fight. Personally, I want to see a Falls Count Anywhere. I love a good Falls Count Anywhere match, but the WWE Universe decided to go with a street fight, and that's what we got. See, the good thing about having 3 hours is they can put more matches like this in. Now, I know we see a lot of street fights, but it's still nice to just see them every now and then, and with these 3 hours, it can actually be a long street match, and this one went probably close to 15-20 minutes, with Sheamus coming out on top. He hit the Bro Kick, and Daniel Bryan pretty much fell on the steel steps that were placed in the ring, and Sheamus picked up the win from there. And then after this, it pretty much led to Daniel Bryan being perceived as crazy. He wouldn't leave the ring. He had to be escorted out by people, I'm assuming doctors, who were in the little white vests like they would do for an insane person. And this led to segments backstage where he was with some random doctor, asking him questions. He did the little, I don't know what it's called, but a little like picture, the first thing you see of it, and he put the pictures down together, and they ended up making a goat face, which I thought was pretty funny. And the only problem I really had with this, the whole little Daniel Bryan segment, was the fact that it looks like he's going after Charlie Sheen. I mean, we've seen a million times the wrestler versus celebrity feuds. Some of them work, like Stone Cold and Mike Tyson, and some of them don't work. And I feel like this one is going to be one that will not work, because Charlie Sheen does not seem very athletic. Like, look at him, he's a nutcase. He goes out and parties all the time. And then you got Daniel Bryan, who could be considered a world-class athlete, well, not an athlete, but a world-class performer, and they probably wouldn't match. Charlie Sheen in a wrestling match would be awful. Like, there's no other way to put it. No one would want to see that unless they just want to see Charlie Sheen get beat up. And unfortunately, that's what it looks like they're going to do, because Daniel Bryan did mention Charlie Sheen a couple times, and so did the doctor he was with. So if WWE wants to go that path, they probably shouldn't. Like, there's no other way to put it. Don't go down that path. Next, as you can see by the headline, we saw the return of the Viper, Randy Orton, who happens to be my favorite superstar, coming back from his 60-day suspension. Unfortunately, he came back a week after Raw 1000, and he went up against Heath Slater. So not the biggest match to come back with, but it was a good match. Obviously, Randy Orton picked up the win. He's not going to lose to Heath Slater on his return, but it was sort of like the Heath Slater challenging anyone, a legend, and of course Randy Orton, who is the original Legend Killer, came out, and then they went from there, and it was a quick match. Obviously, like I said before, Heath Slater is not going to beat Randy Orton. It's just simply not going to happen. But it was a good match, good to see Randy Orton back, and I'm really interested to see what they do with him going in the future, because they just recently turned CM Punk heel, or sort of. I wonder if they're going to put Randy Orton as a heel, if they're going to keep him as a babyface, what they'll do with him. It's just really interesting to me personally. Next, we had a tag team match between Christian and Chris Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. The two rivals. You got The Miz and Christian on opposite teams, and Ziggler and Chris Jericho. The Christian and Jericho were able to pick up the win. Shocker, shocker, the good guys usually win all the time in tag team matches. But I really like what both feuds have going for them. I mean, Christian and The Miz, they can work together. They probably will work a lot together. Hopefully The Miz will make a permanent move over to SmackDown, where he can thrive from there and maybe come back over to Raw in a couple months or a year or so. But I really like what Christian and The Miz had the potential to do. And then he got Ziggler and Jericho. And Ziggler, he's ready for his world title shot, but he still has a couple things to learn. And who better to teach him that than Chris Jericho? They can work matches together. Chris Jericho was obviously one of the best. He's the man who defeated The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night, and the first ever undisputed champion. So who better to teach Dolph Ziggler than him? So hopefully these guys each will face each other at SummerSlam, and we'll see how it goes from there. And this leads us to the main event, John Cena versus The Big Show for the WWE #1 contendership. The match itself was pretty good, or pretty good as possible, because I mean The Big Show's 7 feet, like 450 pounds. He can't work a fantastic match anymore, and I don't know if he really ever could. But he was going up against John Cena, who a lot of people can make their claims about how he can't work a match either. And they pretty much went at it, and towards the end they were outside the ring, and The Big Show pretty much chucked John Cena at the commentary table, and CM Punk, who happened to be on commentary, was like a sitting duck who got bulldozed by John Cena. John Cena was setting up for the attitude adjustment, and CM Punk came and attacked them both because The Big Show was on John Cena's shoulders, so he couldn't really decipher who he was attacking. And then he went on the mic to pretty much say they're both losers. And then none other than AJ Lee decides to come out and announce that at SummerSlam, CM Punk will defend his WWE title in a triple threat match versus The Big Show and John Cena. Now, why they're doing this, I don't know. I don't want to see a triple threat match that includes The Big Show for the WWE Championship. I want to see CM Punk and John Cena one-on-one, the top two guys in they're pretty much the business, to be honest, and definitely the company, going at it at the summer's biggest pay-per-view. But instead, they want to put The Big Show in there and portray him as the giant and the destructive machine, which he really isn't or hasn't been. If he was so destructive, he would have won at No Way Out against John Cena. He would have won at Money in the Bank. This whole thing with The Big Show building him up to be such a destructive monster has failed, because they don't have enough confidence to make him win at pay-per-views, and putting him in the match at SummerSlam, he's not going to win. Nobody wants him to win. I mean, there may be a few people wanting to win, but a majority of pretty much the WWE Universe does not want to see Big Show in the match, period, let alone see him come on top as a new WWE Champion. And the fact of the matter is, they pretty much, there's almost a guarantee that come Royal Rumble, CM Punk will be the WWE Champion and will face off against Dwayne. They talked about him in the opening segment a lot and just throughout the whole show, and that's probably what's going to happen. Another point that they did talk about the whole show a lot that I wanted to bring up was the fact that Triple H will face Brock Lesnar. They were hyping that up like some jank. It was almost outstanding how much they were hyping it up in a bad way. Like almost every single commercial break or every single break that they had in the show, they would talk about Triple H versus Brock Lesnar every single time. I was almost like, really? You're gonna do this? I mean, you got the two names, Brock Lesnar. People know who Brock Lesnar is, and Triple H is one of the best in the business. That in itself will sell tickets. Now, throwing the Big Show in the match may deliver, or throwing the Big Show in the triple threat match may kill a little bit of ticket sales, but that's for some other time. And they were just hyping up like crazy. But overall, the show itself was good. Like I said, it was the first one of Raw's regular shows that'll be 3 hours. I think for the first one, it was pretty good, but I think they'll just need to manage their time a little bit better, because 3 hours is an awfully long time period. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.
Just a little bit around the corner from fear. Be there by next year. Where I'm going.